Who's ready to start the best hour of their week? Oh, wow. We know we're going to do that again. Who's ready to start the best hour of their week? Who's missed everybody for like 3 weeks? Yes! All right, Ford Griggs is going to do our invocation.
Please pray with me. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come before you today asking for your help and your assistance as we go forth trying to help the people and businesses grow with all of the needs of our community. Bless this food to the nourishment of our body and us to thy service. In Christ's name we pray.
Thank you, Ford. Pledge of allegiance. Salute. Pledge. Let's have a Rotary Minute. Ooh, I hear gas. Everybody's excited.
I got sanitizer all over my hands. I was trying not to touch anybody else.
All right, if you want to make your way back to your seat. I figured we needed an extra couple minutes there since everybody hasn't seen each other for a couple weeks, so. Is our Sergeant at Arms ready? Yeah. Yeah. Our Sergeant at Arms is the one, the only, Susan Bass. Not much there. Oh, it kicked in late.
Okay, that's because I'm on their third try. I got somebody who said yes. All right, so they told me that today they're going to be, the talks about the four-way test are our motto. So I thought I'd just warm up the room, if you will, with some motto trivia. I'll still clear of Rotary's motto, because probably, first of all, our speaker probably do a lot better job at it. And secondly, I'm not so sure that the mottos I'm going to bring will follow the is it true or beneficial guidelines. So, to get started, remember the guests are exempt and that these sponsor for the scholarship. Otherwise, if you get them all correct, I will pay your fine. than that, than missing one, I'm sure you'd be glad just to buy your way out of this game. So here's an example. You guys fill in the blank. Get your kicks. Okay, there went your freebie. All right, so the story you're about to see is true. Only the names have been changed to. That's good, you guys are looking good. Let's make it a little harder. Red Skelton always ended his show by saying good night and. All right, now. Who knows the secrets lie in the hearts of the men? Only the blank knows. Shadow, good, all right. After the Lone Ranger saved the day and rode unto the sunset, the grateful citizens would always ask, who was that masked man? Invariably, somebody would answer, I don't know, but he left this behind. What did he leave behind? You're doing great. Now, for the kicker, just in case you got those right. At my wedding rehearsal dinner, my father gave some short remarks, concluding with, I don't think of it as losing a daughter, I think of it as gaining a... Yeah, that's what it was. Did anybody say fish? You have to think about that in a little bit. So if you didn't get that, if you missed that one, then you probably should pay the dues. Now you hope the other guys will do better on the motto.
That's awesome. Thank you, Susan. Our Rotarian of the day is Jason Evans. Jason, you want to do a big wave over there? Everybody say hi, Jason. You got anything to tell us? You got anything to tell us? You want to say anything? Let's go. I love it. I love it. Our students of the month, one is not here, but Miss Ray Revis is here, and she's going to come up here and talk to us about the 5 minutes she got to spend with us because she's missed a couple weeks. So, come on up and tell us what, do you like snow? Are you a big fan of snow?
I like snow when it's nice to play in. Sometimes it's just frigid and it doesn't even stick. So, hi, it's nice to see you all again. It's been a little while, but it's been amazing being here. I know it was really short, but I did get the chance to go to the trivia night for the Dolly Day Imagination Library. I would like to say we won second place, so it was really fun, and it was great to see so many people get together and join and work for a cause that helps our community. So I really appreciated getting to be a part of that. And if you'll excuse my crazy choice of makeup, I just got done with clue rehearsal, so I don't know if anyone plans on going. It actually opens tomorrow night, and senior night is Saturday and Sunday, and I will be up on Saturday, so if anyone would like to come and see, I will be performing Saturday, so I invite you all to come and watch, support the community. We've worked really hard, and we are excited to show everyone. I just wanted to say thank you again for this experience. It has been amazing, and I will actually see you guys again next week. I won't be speaking or anything, but I'll get to mingle a little bit just because we missed so much time. But I appreciate it. Thank you all.
Great job. Great job. Let's give a big round of applause to Monty and Mazio's for catering lunch today. We have several guests with us again with Serena Nelson. We have Charlie Swinton, all the way from Oklahoma City. The city. With Ben Hampton, we have Selena Bossio. With Ray Revis, we have her mom, Shannon Revis. And with Kara Sapp, we have Jen Gowan. And I'm not sure where she's at, but we have a Rotarian all the way from Dixon, California, Marianne McDonald. Yeah. Marianne, if you want to come up here real quick. You can give a big wave to everybody. And all the way from California. we have a flag to present you with from
Thank you.
Grove.
Thank you very much. Next time I come, I'll bring you one from Dixon, California.
Perfect. Mary, where is Dixon at? Near Sacramento. Diane, we will call you up in just a second. If you've not heard the news, Autumn Wilhelm had her baby, and Clarissa Allen is filled in. Let's give Clarissa, hold on, before we give Autumn a round of applause, let's give Clarissa a round of applause, telling her thank you. And I know everybody's kind of spoiled with Autumn checking everybody in, because Autumn knows everyone, but Clarissa doesn't quite yet, so make sure when you're checking in to kind of get with her and make sure you're checking in. So hold on just a second. No, it's not. And I'll show you why in just a second. If they answer. Here it is. And we've got Autumn on the phone. With the new baby in hand, Mr. Judson Levon. I don't know if anybody can see, but I just wanted to make sure that she could see us. Can you see everybody? Perfect. So, and congratulations, Autumn. Yep. If you need anything, let us know. Bye. All right. Just wanted to throw that out so everybody can see that. Diane, you ready?
Okay, I have quite a few today, and been stocking up on these with all the days off we've had, weeks off. So we'll try to make this go fast, but we do want to give them, welcome them to Rotary, being new members. But I'm going to go ahead and do the blue badge members first, the new ones. We have Clarissa Allen receiving her blue badge today. And she's doing an awesome job with all her new duties. We just keep calling on her. I don't need. Okay, and we'll do Janine Perryman. And Ben Whitney. Okay, do we have anyone take a picture, or we can do it afterwards, maybe after the new red badge? Just go ahead and step in front of the camera, though. Serena, you want? Let's give them a warm welcome to Big Blue Badge members. Okay, we saved the best for last, I guess. But we have a new member, Tara Dunham, is that how you pronounce her last name, from Arvest Bank, and Jay. Yes. But she's joining Rotary, and Clint, I'm going to turn it over to her sponsor.
Thank you. So, Tara and I have been friends for a while because of our bank run. So she approached me and said that I was involved with Rotary and was interested, and I said, come on. Come to some of the meetings and see if you like it. I guess she did. I'm going to turn it over to Tara.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tara Dunham. I have worked for Arvest Bank for 30 years. I recently transferred a couple years ago from the J branch to Grove, and I've been looking for a way to get involved in the Grove community. And every place I've gone, they've said, oh, well, Rotary helps us out with that. So I was looking for a way to get involved with Rotary. So Clint and I spoke, and here we are.
Okay, at this time, I'll present Tara her red badge. Let's congratulate Tara.
so great to have new members all the time. Love it. If you've got an announcement, come on up to the front. Well, you going first? Come on.
Thanks, Nick. Yep. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for helping out with the launch a couple weeks ago. I guess it went very, very well. I apologize. I was down in Florida doing a little fishing down there. But there's more to the story. While I was down there, I happened to attend a Blues and Brew festival in Lehigh Acres, Florida, that was put on by the Lehigh Acres Rotary Club. They gave me this shirt and told me, the president's name was Ted, but he told me to give it to the president of the Grove Club. So Nick, there you go.
Thank you.
It was pretty cool. But my announcement is on March 7th. That's a Friday, March 7th. Not this Friday, March 7th, 5 a.m., Wolf Creek Park. We're going to do another launch. So I'm just giving everybody a heads up. I'll make another announcement next week. But anyway, March 7th. Not this Friday, March 7th.
Mark your calendar. Mark your calendars, 5 a.m. Ben?
All right. Most of you saw me standing here in the back at the beginning with Selena Facio. She is a 2018 Grove graduate. She is in her final year of getting her doctorate in occupational therapy at the University of Oklahoma's Health Science Center. And part of that is she is doing a research project, and she is collecting data via the survey that's on everybody's table. There's a QR code that'll take you to her survey. It's very easy. I was able to do it. It's just asking you about your knowledge of occupational therapy within the Cherokee Nation. So, looking at everybody in here, I know we really want to help support her so we could have a good occupational therapist come back to Grove.
Yes.
Okay? All right, so let's all try and help her out. Thank you.
There will not be a golf committee meeting today because I'm kind of learning how to run a committee and I screwed. So, and two of the co-chairs are not here, so we're going to have the meeting next Wednesday, following this at 1 o'clock. I think we're going to need more members for this committee is my guess. So it's probably going to be a spring golf tournament, so anyone that wants to join the committee, experienced or not, please join us next Wednesday at 1 o'clock.
Hello, everyone. Next week on Friday, also the 7th, we're going to have the spring book fair at the lower elementary school. I've got a sign-up sheet here. It'll run through Thursday the 13th. I'd like to get a couple volunteers for each day like we've done in the past. I want to let you guys know that they really appreciate us helping out. And the kids absolutely love the book fair. If you've never been, they just run in and pick stuff out and help them. So if you want to get involved with that next Friday the 7th.
I just want you to know he took over the reading program, the book fairs now. And he has done a fantastic job. Thank you for recognizing him. Thank you, Jim, for all you do.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
You're fired.
Okay, me again. So, Clayton and I got voluntold today to get up here about Lobster Fest. So, as you see in the back, there's a sign-up table to start the committee sign-ups for the Lobster Shrimp Fest. Hopefully, we will be back to Lobster Fest next year at the new event center. So, bear with us this year. We'll do another Shrimp Fest. And then we have about 4 or 5 committees. One of them is just a miscellaneous volunteer. So if you're not for sure if you want to serve on one of those other committees back there, I think one's fundraising games. Last year we did games and then we had some fundraising stuff going along with it, but we're going to combine both of those where the games are going to be a fundraiser. And then transportation location of transporting from storage if needed, with it being at Shangri-La, May 30th. Who knows how much stuff we will need down there, since Shangri-La provides quite a bit. But also we're seeing about parking, if we can get a hold of some golf carts through Shangri-La, so that committee would help with parking with golf carts if needed. And I forget what the other ones are. Decorations and what? And the wine pool. Being at Shangri-La, there's not going to be like a bar like, at Legacy, where people will be behind the bar serving drinks. Shangri-La will be doing that. So this will be more for the wine pool, right, ladies? Okay. So after the meeting, please sign up, if you will, whichever one you desire.
Well, I'm here on behalf of the live auction and silent auction. Obviously, we know every year this is our favorite event of the year. It's our biggest fundraiser. It's always a good time. There's no question about it. We all enjoy it. But we also need to remember that the primary goal is that this is a fundraiser. So we get most of our funds for our grants that we love to give away. That is only successful based on the generosity of you, our club members, but also our community as well. And I don't know if you recall, I believe this is our 4th year out of the Civic Center. And there's a lot of uncertainty of the success going forward. We talked about not having it, changing it, doing those things. And it's been a success each and every one of those years, and we have you guys to thank for that. This is our last year at Shangri-La, hopefully, and then we'll be back at the Civic Center. But we want to still make sure and keep that momentum moving forward, and so that is a long way of just saying, we need your donations. So we have live auction and silent auction items, and we usually have a wonderful live auction selection. So if you have some that you think would be appropriate, you want to donate something, whether for live or silent auction, please let myself know, or Serena, or Kathy, or any of us. But we appreciate your support every year and look forward to having another successful year this year.
Good job, Ben. One more, Mr. Lee.
Just wanted to say thank you for supporting the ticket sales for the Kansas City Chiefs framed picture we gave away on behalf of Grove Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association. We raised $575, and the winner was Curtis Tate.
Awesome. Thank you, Sheree. All right, today's program was supposed to be, yes, Louise. Let me bring the microphone to you. Okay. I got my running shoes on.
I don't like it when people are sitting behind me. I'm going to update you. Hello. I'm going to update. Stop it. Stop it. I'm going to update you on Carolyn Booth. I talked to her this morning. She's finished her chemo and her radiation for now. Waiting another 5 weeks. She'll have testing to see if it's made a difference in her tumors. If so, I don't know if she'll continue a little bit longer. It's going to depend on what they find. Also, she's going through, it's fine. I talked to her numerous times, once this morning. It's kind of hit her that she's ill. And so going through chemo, it's a very chaotic, emotional time. So she didn't want me to visit, she didn't want food. So I went and got her a plant yesterday in a real pretty container and just sent it to her that says, "Love you, Rotary family." So if you get a chance, you might send her an uplifting card. Nothing that says, "So sorry to hear." We don't like to hear that. Just something very uplifting. So if you can do that, that'd be wonderful. No updates on Patty Beth. She was supposed to get results from her testing last week, but I haven't heard anything. Yes? Good. Good to hear. Good to hear. Okay, that's all I had.
Thank you for that update, Louise. Our program today today was supposed to be the four-way test kiddos talking about their speech, but we had to reschedule it from the snowstorm. Dennis Deacons is running that, so we rescheduled that for today. They ran into some constraints at school, it sounds like, so Dennis Deacons has been very nice and going to fill in with some neat program stuff for us. So
I don't know how many.
Go ahead.
So I want to first of all thank the other members of the committee. I've got a device here to hold this in front of my face. Janine Perryman, Connie Jameson, Carolyn Williams, and Mark Morris. We had a great 4 representatives. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here today, and I didn't find out about it until last night. Of course, we pushed them back twice, and so we'll have a video presentation of the winner at a later date. It was limited to, supposed to be a 5-minute speech, so we're going to do something similar to that here and rush through. I'm not necessarily a significant public speaker. My worst fears of looking down as a intern at Scott and White at the State Surgical Society meeting, being a co-presenter with G. Walter Brindley from Scott and White, and DeBakey and Cooley were sitting right in front of me, and I got kind of tongue-tied. The chairman of the program reached up and tugged on my coat sleeve and said, take a swallow of water and we'll be all right. Last month I had the opportunity to go climb with Robert Pizzo and his Czechoslovakian L-39, do some aerobatics. That was a great time. My wife Sharon has Alzheimer's and really couldn't tolerate probably the crowd today, but we're in our 60th year. The year of the snake for the Chinese. My call sign in the Navy was snake. And the reason wasn't because I couldn't crawl on my belly, it was for the caduceus. And for those of you that don't know it, the snake on the cross of Mercury really represents a parasite being wound out of a wound, usually on the leg, from a worm that can be many feet long. I'm going to turn it on. It says, and I was demonstrated how to do this. On the wrong side. I didn't pay good attention. I'm not going to read my CV to you. I went to OU from 1960 to 1975 and got a bachelor's, a master's, and a PhD before I got my MD. I taught at Edmond for a year. Before that, I spent 4 years as the director of animal health and research at the zoo in Oklahoma City, and had a variety of jobs. My first job was in the first grade. I discovered that the slugs from my grandpa's machine shop in Wichita fit in the brand new upright Coke machines that gave me a 6-ounce Coke and a 4 nickels change if you put a slug in it. The local Lebanese grocer didn't take long to discover who was buying his friend's Cokes and candy bars, and I got my first job delivering hand meals in Wichita. When I started medical school, I worked days as a welder and ran a 25-ton brake press for Robertson Steel, was a bank guard at night, and got locked in a Bank AmeriCard vault 48 hours on the weekend. And my family could come and visit me at that job. So the title of this is A Worm is not, when a worm is not just a worm. So this particular worm is a parasite to the nasal pharynx of carnivores, particularly dogs, wolves, foxes, dingoes, and even lions and other carnivores primarily. And the stages are found in the mesenteries and the connective tissue of things like rabbits, cattle, humans. The fish there has a fish louse that has replaced its tongue, the only parasite that takes over the function of its host. This is a parasite in the eye of a human, one of the migrating larvae of this particular worm, Linguacula serrata, the tongue worm, by definition or name, but it's related to shrimp. So we have a lot of parasitic species of crustaceans, even in the fresh waters of Oklahoma. And the spermatozoa of this parasite has been demonstrated to be closely related to some shrimp. So, great fleas have little fleas upon their backs to bite them, and little fleas have lesser fleas, and so ad infinitum. And the great fleas themselves, in turn, have greater fleas to go on. So parasites have parasites, and one of the papers that I did actually demonstrated that the eggs were hatching in the female parasite and going through 2 or 3 instars. These particular worms have about 5 instars where they molt and shed their skin like shrimp. The water bears or little moss animals are about half the size of a period on your printed page. But there's many, many species of them, and their eggs are almost as big as they are. This is our milliper. The worm is, the females are much larger than the males, of course, filled with eggs. The several papers that I've written on denistomes over the years as a parasitologist, and one of them that I did on brief reactive psychosis in naval aviators. There's an example of the female Linguacula. There's at least one case known from a greyhound in Tulsa, but they're more common in the Middle East. They're found in the nose of the reindeer. That's how Rudolph got his red nose. The next picture to the right up there is the lung of a snake. The capillaries there, it's a tubular lung, and that one's filled with it like this. The one just below that I call Jabba the Hutt, and it's an example of one that's found commonly in lizards and some snakes. The one that's called Reichardia up there kind of looks like a worm, and it's found in the air sacs and lungs of birds, many different types of birds around the world. The ones on the bottom represent fossils from the Ordovician period. I'll talk about the Ordovician in a minute. But this is an example in the center of not just only the lungs in blue there, but the air sacs that hollow the bones out so that birds are a lot lighter and able to fly. The life cycles, the one on the left shows one that's from the one of Jabba the Hutt. Primarily it goes through cockroaches, and the little lizards eat them. And of course, tadpoles turn into frogs. They're sharing the same habitat in a little pond or pool on the other side of the road. And then a snake will come along and eat the frog or the toad. On the right is the life cycle of the Linguacula. And underneath that is an example from the mesentery. That's the supporting structures for the blood vessels that hold up your intestine. And about 15 to 20% of the cattle in New South Wales and Australia are infected. Probably many other places, but the life cycle includes in places like England, it goes through the fox and hare, and in other countries like here, probably wolf, coyote, the rest of them. On the left is 1 pound in rattlesnakes left lower, and or in the center, and goes through the deer-footed mouse, Paramystis. The one on the bottom left is the fish, is an intermediate host, goes in alligators, aquatic turtles, snakes. So, E.O. Wilson there said, parasites are predators that consume and prey in units of less than one. They just get a piece of you. And so the word parasite comes from one who shares the table of another and the commensal relationship. I put an example of a swimmer's itch, so that the bird has a schistosome in the liver, passes the eggs in the feces, it swims and infects the snail releases the next stage, and it penetrates back into the duck or a human. If a human is swimming in water and causes swimmer's itch. The reason for putting all these other animals down there and the numbers of species, pretty hard to read, but a lot of different kinds of animals. But you get a dragonfly, it goes through these stages and develops, hatches, flies off. It may be eaten by a Mississippi kite, a bat, a squirrel, or any other animal. So you can get a whole lot of different types of animals infected, and the typical parasitologist is going to put his name on a new species every time he finds it in a new host. Pretty busy here, but the most important item on this slide is near the middle up there where it's dark. The great asteroid strike about 70 million years ago nearly extinguished life on this planet. They say there's another one out there now with less than one half of 1% chance that it's going to hit the planet, but it's not nearly big enough to extinct everything, probably. Looking at the bottom there on your right-hand side is the Cambrian and Precambrian period, when life was really just getting going. This is 500 million years ago, and we are up there in that last little second and a half on the great time scale in terms of fossils. And on the left, it just shows the radiation of the different types of animals. Age of fishes on the left, then reptiles, birds, and then mammals. A lot of different types of birds. Some of them have lost the ability to fly. And so the bottom there names a couple of recent articles describing these type of parasites in some of these birds. Some of my favorite books, Dame Harriet, everybody here read it, James, I hope. But some other invertebrates. So I spent a lot of time as an undergraduate in particular wading around in streams in southeastern Oklahoma or collecting parasites in the bat caves down around Mangum or up in the Panhandle. We've got a very varied state that has all sorts of ecological opportunities. So that is a finger that you see there in that left-hand picture with a mud crab, Paris mud crab. Some of these pictures I wish I'd made them bigger. Up in the top left-hand corner, you might recognize Mount Scott and Lake Elmathaus. And there's some little bitty potholes up on top of that mountain. And in those little potholes, fairy shrimp bloom whenever it rains and fills it with water. If you'll remember, some of you, the sea monkeys in the comic books, and there's little sea monkeys, you see examples of them there on the right, and in the hand of the person there at the bottom left. That's much enlarged in the middle, or on the right is a male with his claspers for grabbing the female. And they swim around on their backs. They have 20 pair of rowers or pinnipidium. The largest ones were recently discovered these things are all about this big. And they are almost transparent. You can buy the eggs and hatch them for fish food. An example up there in the middle is a saline lake in California. But we have saline lakes here in Oklahoma, the Great Salt Plains. And we have the berry shrimps from the cotton fields, the bayous down in the southeast part of the state, and many other places. They're found in those potholes in the mountains all over the world. This picture is supposed to have the movement from that item right in the center, which is a planaria or flatworm, probably about this big, and I'm sure it's in the creeks around here. It's got a triangular arrowhead shape and a couple of eye spots on the top of the head. And if you cut it into pieces, it can regenerate. So if you cut the head off, cut the tail off, the middle part will form a head and a tail will form a middle and a head, and the head will form a middle and a tail. And you can cut them up into 100 parts and they'll still regenerate. That one actually has, online you can see it swimming around and moving. This is a jellyfish. You can see the size, not the size of a penny. The map shows you it's found all over Oklahoma, but it's found over probably most of the rest of those areas. And people just don't see them because they don't look for them. And they come in two forms, the jellyfish form and the hydra form. The hydra form is got a stalk and tentacles, and it's sessile. The bottom pictures there are fossil bryozoans. Bryozoans look very much like sponges, but they're got a little slimy on the outside. This is a freshwater sponge, and some examples of it. And this is a bryozoan. You can see those, again, they have a stalk and tentacles. And those are probably about the size of an exclamation point for the most part. The one on the top right, I grabbed one of those down in Lake Texoma one time, wearing fin and flippers and a mask, and it weighed more than I could almost carry to the top. And the two guys that were in the boat waiting for me couldn't understand why I didn't get my mask above the surface, but I wouldn't let go of the rock. We got it put in the aquarium. The ones at the top up there are the fossilized forms you can find in the creek beds all over the state. And so then, when I left here in, joined the Navy in 1984. And so, unlike the Army and the Air Force where you get 5 weeks of training as a flight surgeon, the Navy gives you a month learning to read a naval letter and supposedly do some other officer-like qualities. And you 2 months with the pilots learning to fly. So I learned to fly jet Rangers, and that was a fighting field. I also got quite a bit of time in T-34s. Because I went back there as a senior medical officer after my first utilization tour on the USS Eisenhower. They've got a great aviation museum. And they took the bar from Cuba in the Philippines and brought it in to the sandwich shop there. The clock that's showed up there with the red circles has got my name on the top. Every squadron would leave a tribute to their having been there. A bunch of the different types of naval aircraft I did get to fly in, the Marines, the Jamaican Self-Defense Force, and the Army, Air Force. Particularly with the A-7s would take me to Key West, where I could fly with the aggressor squadron, and El Centro for guns and bombs. An aircraft carrier is an environment of about 3,500 sailors and officers on the ship, and 1,500 that come aboard with the air wing. And the air wing has usually about 10 squadrons, each with about a dozen aircraft. It's a quarter of a mile long, displaces 100,000 or more tons, and goes somewhere as 4 acres of sovereign territory to the President of the United States has to say. The bottom left picture, pardon me, is the pointy end of the ship. The middle is one with no aircraft on it doing a high-speed turn. And you can see them, they do spelling bees a lot to tell people who they are. This is Battle Force Zulu during the Gulf War. The Midway was the one I was the senior medical officer on. We were there, everybody else came, and then everybody else left. We were still there, it was our watch. We had these 4 carriers in the middle of the Persian Gulf doing 50-mile racetracks. Generally, one carrier had the night watch, and the other 3 were delivering ordnance if they needed to, or threatening to. And if I flew with the AWACS, you could see every radar and radio emitter for 200 miles. It's a better picture with 3 Ticonderoga missile cruisers to defend them. And almost always the aircraft carrier has a couple of nuclear submarines to protect them. And a long train, because you got to have fuel tankers coming aboard, you can have food coming aboard, you got to have other stuff all the time. This is USS Independence at the top and Midway at the bottom. I exchanged after 14 months on Midway, went to the Independence for 2 more tours in the Persian Gulf. It's my favorite picture of it because it's got the Arizona Memorial, Fort Island, and the Officers Club for the Air Force in the background. And so I got to go to a lot of different places and see a lot of different things there. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, and my picture's still in front of the medical department. That's the last scene.
Dr. Cullen, is it safe for us to swim in the lake?
You know, I can't think of a good reason not to swim in the lake, but it's probably better to not swim in it just after a big rain when all that stuff is coming down from all those other places. I wouldn't drink the water out of it without filtering it and treating it. Oh, by the way, there's a couple of 100 pelicans over here right behind the water treatment plant this morning, and they've been there for a couple of weeks. Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dennis. Lots of good information there. Appreciate that. We're going to stack the blue chairs 8 high, and we're going to put out 7 metal chairs. Next week, we have Horizon here. And as you all know, 2 weeks ago, we canceled Rotary. We tried to do it. We were hoping to have it. We were hoping to just get an inch or 2 of snow and be able to be here at noon. We had to cancel. Obviously, it was too late. We'd already ordered food. So Charlie and Karen and a couple others got together and figured out a great way to donate that lunch. So round of applause to Charlie and Karen's team. And a giant round of applause to the road warrior, Eric Peterson, because he took that food all the way to Miami and down south of town. So what we're going to do is a $25 gift card from the Regatta to Mr. Eric Peterson for doing that. So give him a big round of applause. All right, if everybody wants to stand for the 4-way test, and all the things that we think, say, or do, is it the truth?